The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.
Tonight on The Leader TV, Bigwigs will be behind bars if immunoglobulin racketeer opens his mouth. On Wednesday, Iro 1, the owner of Isoles Biotech Pharma, was remanded for 2 weeks on a charge of forging documents and supplying substandard human immunoglobulin vaccines to state hospitals. The order against Sugath Janaka Fernando alias Aruna Deepthi was given by Malagakanda magistrate Lochana Abe Wikrama. The suspect is a close associate of many government and opposition politicians alike. Sources at the health ministry previously told the media that he had imported the human immunoglobulin vaccines from India. But the National Medicines Regulatory Authority got in touch with the Indian company in question and received confirmation that it had not exported any kind of medicine to any country. It was revealed that Fernando had forged documents to make that claim. The Criminal Investigation Department used a decoy and arrested its owner at Slavy's Land. A fraud of more than 130 million rupees took place by way of selling 22,500 vials of human immunoglobulin. After a preliminary questioning, the suspect was produced before the magistrate. The CID informed the court that the vaccines had in fact been produced at a factory at Radalua. Fernando had sold 3,985 HIG vials to the Medical Supplies Division and received more than 36.38 million rupees as payment. According to the CID, the vaccines had not undergone quality checks by the NMRA before they were issued to hospitals. Around 80% of the vaccines had already been used on patients who have shown allergic reactions. After considering the submissions made to her, the magistrate said the person in custody was just one player in the fraud, and that state officials could be the main culprits. She ordered the CID to obtain advice from the Attorney General and arrest those responsible, irrespective of their positions. The lawyer for the company owner had this to say: "My client is a supplier only. He does not write health ministry letters, he does not take decisions. So, he cannot take full responsibility for everything. None of these could have been done without the advice of the health minister and the ministry secretary." Commenting on this, President of the Association of Health Professionals Ravi Kumudesh said, "It is very important to understand the message being relayed by the suspect via his lawyer. This immunoglobulin deal cannot happen by a company on its own. It is essential to understand the message the arrested company owner tried to tell the court. The company owner could be a fraud of any proportion, but the truth of his statement is unavoidable. Most corrupt, fraudulent, and irregular acts in the health service happen by using the existing technology. A normal criminal investigation cannot identify the true nature of that technology. Therefore, an examination that covers beyond the immunoglobulin fraud should be needed to rectify the health service. The CID should properly deliver its obligation to expose the things involved. There is something worthwhile in his explanation. Why did the CID have to take a step backward and wait weeks after the court order to arrest the suspects? That is the key point. There are hidden truths behind what both the suspect's lawyer and Kumadesh said. They are trying to say something they cannot say themselves." According to reports, several powerful political figures and top health ministry officials are involved in this fraud. Certain top figures in the country's highest offices had ordered the ministry's secretaries to buy this vaccine. The brother of a SLPP bigwig, who is in the ministry, is involved as well. The public relations officer to a top official in one of the country's highest offices is said to have received kickbacks from this company. Not just the ministry, even the police top brass had been intimidated in doing so. That person was previously an assistant to the private secretary of a former president. He is now with a new boss. He had got his new boss to telephone health officials and tell them to help that company. Police sources said all suspects have now been found. Even if everything is covered up, several politicians and top officials will surely have to go behind bars for several years if the remanded company owner opens his mouth. Therefore, it is probable that the investigation will be halted halfway. Anyhow, President Ranil Wickremesinghe is thinking about transferring several ministry secretaries facing similar accusations. It is useless to close the stable door after the horse has bolted. This is something like that. Politicians in both the government and the opposition are linked to these frauds. With elections due soon, all are trying to make a buck by keeping the deal-makers happy. Top officials, too, are involved. Without them, politicians cannot swindle taxpayers' money. Both get together in that. Therefore, people like Deepthi may ponder whether the country would gain anything by changing governments without changing the society.